welcome back. My name is Brianda Martin Del Campo. I'm BCBA and Clinical Director of Therapy. Today we'll be discussing the 4 functions of behavior. So the most common functions are typically abbreviated as EATS. Everybody eats. It's an easy way to remember. The very first one, E, is for escape. It's a very common function of behavior, typically why a lot of kids cry when you place a demand. We also have attention. A lot of times they don't have an appropriate way to communicate their attention if they want attention from you. We also have tangibles, just access to preferred items, and sensories, automatic reinforcement. Okay, so we'll start with the function escape. I'm going to try and explain this as easy as possible so our new viewers, parents, and people that are new to the field understand what it is. So with escape, some examples are you place any demand, for example, work. The moment you say it's time for work, the client will probably cry or throw the flashcards or whatever you're going to work on, which will is going to result in escape from work because you're going to be tempted to prompt them to pick up what they threw and tell them to quiet down. Another example I have is at home, you place a chore, go fix your bed. They'll probably ignore you, go on the phone, play some video games, and they're trying to escape the chore. Another common function of behavior is attention. So some examples are if you're busy engaging in work and not necessarily delivering attention to your child, they are likely to engage in any behavior to get your attention. In this particular example, is throwing an item as they're looking at you and throwing some to get some sort of reaction from you. Another example, the parent is busy, the child starts to whine, and that will get your attention. It's important to remember that even a form of reprimand is a form of attention. If you're looking at the child and talking to the child, whether it's a negative feedback or positive reinforcement, is a form of attention. Next, we have tangible, so access to any preferred item. In these examples, you deny access. Let's say you're at the store, they ask you for a bag of chips, you say no, the client hits you. In this case, you're likely to be like, okay, here you go, just don't hit me. Another example would be the removal of any preferred item. For example, you're all done with iPad, let's go clean your room. The child is likely to engage in any form of behavior to get access to the iPad, in this case by you, and the child will get the item. Last would be sensory. So sensory is basically automatic reinforcement. Typically lives in forms of flapping hands, pacing back and forth, or any form of vocalizing. When we're talking about sensory, there's no specific condition in where it's likely to happen. For example, it can be during play, it can be during work, or during alone time. They're just going to engage in the behavior because it's simply automatic reinforcement for them. In other words, it feels good to them. This is just some references if you guys would like to go back and do some research on the functions of behavior. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll be showing examples of these concepts. Don't forget that here at Therapy, together we grow.